Philadelphia Phillies baseball on Comcast Sportsnet, part of the NBC Sports Group.
In the air to left field. Going back on it is Buck. It's over his head and out of the yard. A two-run home run for Polanco. Career hit number 2,000. And he does it in a very big way. It's his first home run of the year. How about that? That's a beauty. A little individual history last night and today. The Phillies are hoping to make some team history in 2012. Their first three-game winning streak. That's what's at stake this afternoon as they take on the Houston Astros. Hi, everybody. I'm Tom McCarthy along with Chris Wheeler. Today wraps up this homestand for the Phillies. They go to Chicago for 2, and then they're back home again this weekend. But for the first time this year, the Phillies are going to try to win 3 consecutive games. And they'll do it with another similar lineup for Charlie Manuel, which includes Placido Polanco.
Placido Polanco in there. Cliff Lee on the mound for the Phillies today as they try to win this series, sweep this series, and have a good homestand, as Tom said, because they certainly could use it. How about Placido Polanco last night? Hit the home run for his 2,000th major league hit. Some of his milestones right there. This guy has been a quality player for a long, long time. He's won Rawlings Gold Gloves in both leagues. He's a class guy in the clubhouse. Great guy to have that happen to last night. And the last thing you thought he would do was get his 2,000th hit this way. Bam! Deep left center field, a home run into the first row out there. You figured he'd get a line drive single up the middle, a line drive single to right field. That's what he's lived on for so many years. But he hits the ball out of the ballpark. The fans really appreciate Placido Polanco the way we all do. This guy is just a really, really good player. 2,000 hits. That's a heck of an accomplishment for a Major League Baseball player. Look at his lifetime average. He's hit some home runs, too, but right at that number of 2,000 right now. Really happy for him because he's one of the good guys in the game.
As you said, Wheels, he's one of the classier guys. He was walking around today in the clubhouse with that baseball, all smiles. That fan who got the ball, very classy in his own right, to give the ball to Placido where he could enjoy it with the rest of his family. So it is the final game of this 2-game series. The Phillies and the Houston Astros. Cliff Lee on the mound for the Phils. Jordan Lyles just arrived from AAA, where he was 5-0 this year. He's making his second start in the big leagues this season. Well, Jonathan Papelbon did not earn the save in last night's ball game, but he certainly closed out the victory and did it in fantastic form once again. The lineups for this finale and first pitch when we return. Phillies Women all around the ballpark today, and some youngsters too mixed in, right? School's like a business for a lot of the kids. It's the final day of this homestand for the Phillies. They wrap up this 2-game series with the Houston Astros. The sun has actually popped out over the last 15 minutes or so, which is a good sign. Folks are settling into their seats to get ready to watch Cliff Lee on the mound for the second time since coming off the disabled list and getting set to take out an Astros team. They didn't provide the lineup until about a half hour before game time, but we have it. There have been changes to it, and here we go. It's brought to you by Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. Jose Altuve leads it off at second base. Justin Maxwell bats second. Matt Downs third, then Carlos Lee, the cleanup hitter. Chris Johnson's over at third base. J.D. Martinez will bat sixth. Here are the changes. Castro was originally 8th. He's now 7th. Gonzalez was originally 7th. He's now 8th. And Jordan Lyles is on the mound for the Astros, and he wasn't even in Philadelphia yesterday afternoon. And they'll face left-hander Cliff Lee. Lee making his 5th start of the year. The 33-year-old has made 1 start since coming off the disabled list, and he was really good. And it was unfortunate the Phillies had to take him out of that start.
Yeah, and what they would like to do is score for him. This guy, run support of 1.86. Lowest among National League starters. Only 6 runs scored for Cliff Lee while he is in the game. And everybody remembers he pitched 10 innings, got nothing. So that certainly is going to factor into that 1.86. There's a scouting report on him. Career against Houston. He hasn't pitched against them a whole lot. And I don't know about you, but I kind of figured driving here today when you couldn't see 2 feet in front of you, you'd start this game on time.
Well, not only start the game on time, Wheels, but get to the keys pretty easy.
Amazing. Keys to this afternoon's game, which we are starting on time. The Nissan keys of the game. Well, how about winning 3 in a row for the first time this year? That's almost amazing to think it would take until May 15th. And they weren't sure about Cliff Lee. They feel that he could go further today. Just depends on if he gets in any jams or not. And they will monitor his pitch count.
Well, Charlie Manuel said yesterday 85 to 100 pitches, and the first pitch of the day to Jose Altuve is upstairs. So we're underway. It's 1 ball and no strikes. Altuve was 1 for 4 in last night's ball game. Overall, a .321 hitter with 2 homers and 13 runs batted in. And just like last night, he hits his first opportunity and hits it to Placido Polanco.
Well, that was an easy play. Last night, boy, the game started with Polanco making a tremendous play. That play right there, he almost lifted up a little early. I think that's why he's laughing. In fact, there he goes. He just put his head up in the air to Jimmy Rollins. Everything almost came up a little too soon, and he knows it.
So 1 out here at the top of the first. See the skies up above. Justin Maxwell's the hitter. He takes a strike. It's 0-1. The temperature today should be quite comfortable as the afternoon moves on. It's supposed to get into the mid-70s. Maxwell was a pinch hitter last night and struck out for the Astros in a game in which the Phillies won 5-1. His average of .238 with a home run and 5 RBIs, and he takes strike 2.
Sure, a lot of people figured this baby wouldn't be played today.
Well, the way the forecast was the last couple of days, it looked like it was going to be rain most of the day.
Yep, that's why you just kind of wait around and see what happens.
Look out toward left field. There's some blue skies up above the scoreboard.
Oh, you knew that was going to happen.
Here's the 2-2 pitch. A little low. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Next thing you know, everybody's going to need sunglasses.
Matt Downs waits on deck for the Astros. And there's ball 4, so Maxwell draws a 1-out walk. First walk issued by Lee, only the 4th that he has issued in 29 1/3 innings this year. So 1 out, 1 on. Here's Matt Downs. He did not play in last night's game. He was in the on deck circle at the end of the game, but didn't bat. His average at 182 with 2 homers and 4 runs batted in. He checks, but it's a strike anyway. It's 0-1. Wills mentioned Lee's run support. Over his last 4 starts, the Phils have combined to score 6 runs for Cliff Lee. Just 6.
Yeah. He's only had 4 starts this year because of that time with the DL.
Foul ball past Clark.
He and Halladay really have not had a lot of runs scored from them. Now Roy's are going to look like more because of that one game that he had in Atlanta, where they did score a bunch for him, and then he gave up runs in that one. But these two guys have not had many runs scored for them this year.
Doc is scheduled to pitch Thursday in Chicago against Chris Volstead.
Be a little cooler this year than that night game last year.
A little bit. Curveball and just high. So 1-2 the count.
He'll use this as a strikeout pitch a lot of times, and Bob Davidson said it came in there high in the strike zone.
I guess that one was low in the strike zone.
Yeah, that one came in low. You don't want to get it right down the middle.
The objective is to push it a little off the plate.
The objective is to not throw it quite right over the plate. You do, you get hurt in this league.
That one's way upstairs. That's 3-2 now.
See if they try to manufacture something now. Dave Clark, the third base coach, almost went into the dugout to ask Brad Mills what he wanted.
And now he gets some sunglasses from the athletic trainer.
Yeah. See, that's what's going to happen. You're going to need the sunglasses. And that, was probably a throw over from the bench to see if there's any flinching going on over there, just to give him an idea. And Lee kind of reluctantly just tossed it over.
There's Carlos Lee. He's on deck. Runner doesn't go. Pitch is hit in the air to shallow right field. Easy play for Hunter Pence, who sidewinds in for the second out. So Downs went fishing upstairs. That helps Lee for the second out of the inning. And here comes Carlos Lee, who was 3 for 4 in last night's ball game. Fortunately for the Phillies, all 3 hits last night were singles. And then he lined out to right as the tying run against Chad Qualls in the 8th inning. Runner goes, pitches a strike. The throw by Schneider is in time. He got him. Freddie Galvis fielded that throw on the infield side of the bag and was able to get Maxwell to wrap up this first inning. 2-4 of the putout, 13th caught stealing of the year for the Phillies catchers. This is a darn good throw by Brian Schneider. We go to the bottom of the first. It's the Astros 0 and the Phillies. Of the Astros just getting started. Let's take a look at the Phillies starting lineup. It's brought to you by Xfinity. You're a home for the most live sports. Leading it off at shortstop, Jimmy Rollins. Juan Pierre bats second. Shane Victorino third. Then Hunter Pence in right field. He'll be in batting cleanup. Placido Polanco, the third baseman, bats fifth. John Mayberry sixth. Freddie Galvis at second base. He'll hit seventh. Brian Schneider will hit eighth today. Cliff Lee, of course, will bat ninth. And on the mound is Jordan Miles, just up from AAA. Literally just up from AAA, where he was 5-0 with an ERA of 3.49. This is his second start for the Astros.
5-0 at AAA in the 6 starts. More hits than innings pitched. Walks are good. This is a scouting report. You just going to have to see what happens. He was a supplemental pick when Trevor Miller left as a free agent. They got him as a sandwich guy in the first round.
Well, his first pitch to Rollins is taken outside. It's 1-0. There was speculation the last couple of days that he would indeed be the guy that would start today's game. ball is hit off the glove of Carlos Lee, who runs right into Hunter Wendelstedt. And I think both guys are a little slow to get up as Rollins slides into second safely. Lee, I think, may have gotten poked in the eye. Wendelstedt was slow to get up because that's a big man hitting a big man.
Yeah, he got the worst of it, did Carlos Lee.
They're going to score that a double for Rollins, his 6th of the year.
Yeah, it was a tough play. You know, Lee is an offensive player. You're right, Tom. It looks like he got poked right in the eye.
I think the bill of the cap may have hit him in the eye. Yeah. Wendelstedt's bill. Oh, no, it's his elbow.
Yeah. Hunter got up in a hurry. Carlos, right? Yeah, he got poked in the eye by his arm there, right there. Now it's his hand. I guess when he put his hand out to protect himself, he must have poked Lee in the eye. You know, you talk about players are not allowed to what they call beak an umpire during an argument, meaning they're not allowed to hit him with their cap. Well, he got poked.
Well, he did. I guess he's okay. He's just tying his shoe now. They've given Rollins a double, as we mentioned. So he's in scoring position.
That ball went down on Carlos Lee. It was a big hopper, and then it went down and off his glove and trickled away, and then the collision occurred.
Umpires are now laughing a little bit at Hunter Wendelstedt. Freddie Galvis laughing a little bit too.
Oh yeah, man, he's laughing at Lee. Lee's looking in the Phillies dugout.
Wendelstedt is not a small guy. Lee, of course, is not a small guy.
Not when you're known as El Caballo, you're not going to be small. A horse.
So Rollins is at second. The air shows bunt. And takes low. Vaughn, a .337 hitter with no home runs and 6 runs batted in. He still does not have enough at bats to qualify for the top 10 in hitting. He bunts in the air and it drops. Castro picks it up. The sacrifice is successful as Rollins goes to third.
That's a tough ball to read for Jimmy Rollins. Good job getting to third base on that. That ball's in the air for a while. As a base runner, your depth perception, you think it's far enough away from everybody, and it's not that high, but the last thing you can want to do is get double. You're already in scoring position. I want to see it goes up in the air, and you have to read that, does Jimmy Rollins. Boy, I'd like my wedges to land like that. See, Jimmy, look, good bet. Now, see, you almost started back at one point when it appeared that they may catch that in the air. Very good base running.
Well, now the Astros will play the infield in here in the first. Victorino's hit in 4 consecutive games. His average at .259.
Infield in the first inning.
Well, maybe Brad Mills realizes Lee's on the mound. The weather report for the last 48 hours has not been great.
That's the reason you would do it. Either or both.
Inside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Rollins hanging out over third. Victorino, the leading hitter for the Phillies, with runners in scoring position at .387.
This has not been a strong point for him, though. Runners in scoring position is different than getting a runner in from third base with less than 2 outs. And you know that this is very important right now to grab a 1-0 lead if you can for Cliff Lee, because they just don't score for him. A lot of room to hit a ball through, or a fly ball.
Tried to hold, didn't matter. It was called a strike by Bob Davidson, and it's 2-2. On the Toyota Major League scoreboard, they're underway down in Washington, and the Padres have jumped out to a 1-0 lead. Yonder Alonso has picked up another RBI. Washington won last night. The Braves lost, so the Phillies are 5.5 now behind the Nationals in the division. Through another breaking pitch. That was a little slower.
And these guys are all on a recon right now. They didn't have much time to prepare for him, for Lyles. Tom mentioned everything was kind of late today, and they've never seen this guy.
He did pitch last year for the Astros. He was 2-8 in the second half of the season. Problem about it too is that he's in the Pacific Coast League, whereas even Lehigh Valley's in the International League. was a hanger right there.
They did find some video of him pitching in that game against Cincinnati this year. So that was the one thing they were able to check out.
Lucky McDonald's Phillies home run jackpot contestant is Diane Cahill of Camden, Delaware. Phillies hit a home run in tonight's ball game, and Diane's going to win $100.
Kevin Camasholi does a great job with that down there for Rich Doobie in the preparation for the game.
Liner foul. And it remains 2-2. Victorino just broke his bat.
Yeah, they said he throws a lot of cutters, and so far you can see that he's trying to come inside and get him out in there.
Well, he was third in the Pacific Coast League in victories coming into today's game. He's on his 5th day, so it's not like this is a push for him to pitch up here.
Right, and that cutter's a good pitch right now because he's trying to either strike him out with a back foot cutter or get him to hit a weak ground ball to a drawn in infield.
It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Another breaking ball.
It's hard to keep that thing fair. Keep coming inside with off-speed stuff, breaking balls, cutters.
That's the 3rd straight curveball that Lyles has thrown Victorino.
Jimmy might go on contact here with 1 out. We'll see. Getting that walking lead.
And a called strike 3 on the inside corner. That was a fastball. First strikeout for Lyles. And there are 2 outs.
Strike.
A 9-pitch at bat. And now it's up to Hunter Pence. Pence was 1 for 4 in last night's ball game, 3 for 27 on this homestand. Breaks his bat. A roller to second base. Altuve gobbles it up, and the Phils leave one over at third. So no runs, 1 hit, 1 man left in scoring position. We go to the second here in Philadelphia. It's the Astros nothing and the Phillies nothing. Subscribe to MLB.tv today to see every Phillies out-of-market game live online or on your favorite devices in HD quality. Visit Phillies.com to order and get more details. MLB.tv. Baseball everywhere. Carlos Lee will start it off for the Astros. He was up when Justin Maxwell was thrown out trying to steal to finish up the top of the first. Lee, as we mentioned before, was 3 for 4 in last night's game. All 3 of his hits were singles. Great numbers here at this ballpark for one reason or another. Last night, Joe Blanton was outstanding for the Phillies. He worked into the 8th inning. With all the wet conditions, he was very smooth. There's a liner to left center that'll drop in front of Victorino, and it's the first hit for the Astros. So Lee's aboard, Chris Johnson is up, and Greg Murphy is somewhere around the ballpark with a very special guest. Murph?
Very special indeed, T-Mac. The legendary Billie Jean King in the house today. It is great to see you. Great to see you. And
what do you like to be called, Murph or Greg?
You can go with Murph. That's what most of the folks scream out as I'm walking through the crowd. Let me ask you about, you're wearing the Phillies jersey today, number 39. What's the significance of that number right there?
Well, the Phillies were nice enough last year to give me a jersey with 39 in the back, because that's how many Grand Slam titles, singles, doubles, and mixed I won in my career. So that was very kind of them, made me look good.
Exactly 39 more than anyone on our broadcast team won, no doubt about it. You're here, of course, to promote World Team Tennis. The Philadelphia Freedom's getting things underway in less than, about a month and a half right now. That's force out a second. He got him.
Did you get it?
He got him.
Yeah, baby. Good job.
So in about 6 weeks, you guys get it all started with the Philadelphia Freedom.
July 10th. Well, actually, the season starts July 9th, but the season opener for us is July 10th, and James Blake will be playing for the Philadelphia Freedoms. We got Ryan Harrison, 19-year-old. He's like the most promising young player. He just made his Davis Cup debut. We got Chris Everett coming in for sponsors. We got Bastille Day. We've got Guys Night with McEnroe, and Hingles will be there that night with the Sport Times in New York. We've got, anyway, PhiladelphiaFreedoms.com will tell you the whole story. If you want to come out, hopefully people will come out. We only last 3 weeks, so get out there. 7 home games, 7 away.
That's right. If you've never done it, it is a lot of fun. Right. You're playing your home games at Villanova, but it's not just about tennis with you. You got a little baseball in your background as well, right? You sure do. Your brother, of course, played in the Major League.
Yeah, Randy Moffat played most of his years with the San Francisco Giants, and of course Sarge, Matthews and Maddox. My brother Randy didn't have a roommate, and the both of them said, come and room with us. And they have a great story because they talked with Willie Mays, and Willie Mays says, do you guys need anything? And they're kind of hemming and hawing. And the very next day, my brother needed a new glove. He got a new glove from Willie Mays. They got a new TV for the room. I mean, Willie Mays was so kind to them. So I always think about that story. My brother was talking about generosity. It's Willie Mays given to these 3, young rookies on the Giants, and also the generosity and kindness of Maddox and Matthews reaching out to my brother because he didn't have a roommate, so that was really nice of them.
That is certainly the Sarge we know as well. So let's remind people, World Team Tennis in July, Philadelphia Freedoms out of Villanova University. What's the website again?
PhiladelphiaFreedoms.com. Easy peasy, PhiladelphiaFreedoms.com. And we have a great signature song because Elton John wrote that song for me because I played for the Philadelphia Freedoms, and that's why one of my dreams was to always own the Philadelphia Freedoms. So I do now, so I'm thrilled.
All right, well, hopefully a lot of these Phillies fans, great Philadelphia fans, will go out. And nice job on the first pitch as well.
Oh, I got lucky.
Hey, lucky and good. That's all it's all about. That's right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Billie Jean. T-Mac, back to you.
All right, Greg/Murph, we appreciate it very much. It's no balls and 1 strike to Jason Castro with 2 outs here in the second. Castro on the hands, a grounder softly to second. Galvis makes the play. The inning is over. Pretty good job by Cliff Lee to maneuver around some things here in the second. He leaves one. He allows his first hit onto the bottom of the second here at Citizens Bank Park. Foundation, benefiting the PSPCA. Plus, Shane Victorino's memory of the 2008 National League Championship versus the Dodgers when Hiroki Kuroda threw that ball over his head. And Juan Pierre talks about his unique approach to the game. Don't miss Phillies Clubhouse, presented by Mercedes. That's later on at 4:30 after Phillies postgame live on Comcast Sportsnet. Bottom of the second. Placido Polanco, John Mayberry, Freddie Galvis due up for the Phillies. Polanco was still all smiles earlier today in the clubhouse, walking around with the ball that was given back to him by the Phillies fan who picked it right out of the flower bed. In fact, that Philly fan was ushered downstairs. He met Polly last night. Polly gave him a bat. Was very appreciative that the young man was nice enough to present him with the home run ball. 1 ball and 1 strike to Polanco.
That is great when the fans will do that, you know, because it means so much to the player.
Right. And most times, you know, you get a nice little set of trinkets in return too.
Yeah. Hey, you started with nothing, you wound up with something.
Last 5 players to reach 2,000 hits. That's a great list to be part of.
It's hard to get 2,000 hits. It's hard to get the first major league hit, to play in the major leagues, let alone to play long enough and to be good enough to get 2,000 hits. Here he is hitting the ball out of the ballpark off right-hander David Carpenter, who was the move today.
He was the move, yeah.
Right, for Lyles.
So those are the last guys to hit a home run for their 2,000th hit. Polanco rung up for the 2nd strikeout for Lyles. One away. And that'll bring John Mayberry to the plate. John Mayberry, a .247 hitter with a home run and 6 runs batted in. Last night he was 2 for 4 in the game. He's had himself a heck of a homestand. He's 9 for 26, which is a .346 clip. 2-0 the count to him.
Well, with Lance Nix going on the disabled list, he's getting a lot more chances to play. Saying Greg Gross was saying this guy reminded him a little bit of the pitcher last night, Harrell, except he didn't throw as hard, maybe not as heavy a sinker, but tried to work hitters, you know, had some of the same type of action on pitches, try to work them a little bit the same way.
I think the fact that he has you know, the slider / cutter with the curveball, you know, benefits him, particularly against left-handed hitters.
Oh yeah, well, you need something as a right-handed pitcher. He hasn't shown a changeup to get left-handed hitters out, so you need something that'll you can either run in on them or fool them with the changeup away.
It's 2 balls and 2 strikes now to Mayberry.
The guy last night had a really good sinker.
Fought that one off. Altuve sits back on it. Oh, he threw wide of the first base bag. He just kind of nonchalanted that. It was bouncing every which way. You don't blame him for waiting for that nice, comfortable hop, but then he got a little casual with the flip. And that'll be an error charged to the second baseman.
Yeah, you don't see that in the big leagues very often, a guy make a play like that. See the frustration on his face. Right there, he has it all in front of him, no problem. Takes his little crow hop. Mayberry runs the ball out. And there's that flip, as Tom said. He just, I don't know, maybe he flips it that way all the time, or he's trying to cool it a little bit right there, and they'll say stop cooling it.
They'll bring Freddie Galvis to the plate. Freddie is second among rookies in RBIs with 15. He had a couple RBIs in last night's game. He was 3 for 4. How about his homestand? 8 for 21 with 7 runs batted in.
Yes, Charlie in the pregame show about him knocking in runs in that 8-hole, and he said, well, you know, sometimes I can get you moved out of that 8-hole. He said, kind of like today.
Up to the 7th spot.
Right, with Brian Schneider catching. They went this way the other day, and Schneider had a good day in the 8-hole. But it's hard to hit 8th in the National League, especially when you're a young player. You know, they may be pitching around you, maybe they're not. You have to figure out what they're trying to do to you. Brian, much more of an established hitter, and as a catcher can really have a feel for what they're trying to do.
Throw over to first. Charlie also said today that it's good that Schneider is hitting the way he is hitting, because right now it's very difficult to take Carlos Ruiz out of the lineup. But
got to do it.
Said you have to do it day game after a night game. Maybe not all the time, but some of the time. And he said he thought this was an appropriate time to do it.
Well, you have to have a backup catcher you trust and can play. Carlos, as you said, Tom, is so hot right now you don't ever want to sit him. But if you want him to be worth anything later in the year, you got to sit him.
2 balls and 2 strikes to Freddie Galvis. A curveball hit toward left center field. Maxwell is over. And he makes the catch. He almost ran into J.D. Martinez. And Mayberry goes back to first.
Freddie gets himself out with high pitches. He's getting a little bit better at it, but you watch most of the outs he makes on weak fly balls are on pitches up in the zone that just look really good out of the pitcher's hand. Not much you can do with it, though. Positive, on a positive note.
Well, now Brian Schneider is average at 276. Schneider rips one to right field. It's deep. Going back is the right fielder. It is gone. 2-run home run for Brian Schneider. Downs was setting up as if he was going to play that one off the wall, but it carried right on out of here. It's the first home run of the year for Schneider, and the Phillies take a 2-0 lead.
Well, that was a great job. He went fastball hunting there on the first pitch, got it, hit it out of the ballpark. That's a point about whether or not you pitch around a guy with a base, with a pitcher coming up or not, or you work carefully to him. And he got a fastball. It's supposed to be away. Now let's see where it is. Oh my. Middle to middle into a left-handed hitter, dropped the head on it and hit it hard, and that's what he did.
And Diane Cahall of Camden, Delaware, just won $100. Compliments of Brian and the McDonald's home run jackpot. His first home run in over a year. Lee fouls it at the plate. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Well, it's nice to see them. You know, they made them pay for that little casual flip out there by Altuve. These runs are unearned.
Two and 1 the count to Lee.
Well, as they say when they watch him swing, there's Altuve. That ain't no pitcher's hack that Cliff Lee has.
Altuve gets another chance. Lee hustling up the line. This time the throw is right on the mark. And the side is retired, but the damage is done. 2 pass by Brian Schneider. His first home run since April of last year. We go to the 3rd with the Phillies up. WFanPhillies.com. Go to the fan section for all the information. And Wheels, please submit your answer on the subject line. The question is, Brett Myers struck out what Nationals player to clinch the National League East title for the Phils in 2007? Now, no cheating, because you may be able to walk out into the hallway and see many of the pictures from that celebration and the covers of newspapers and things like that.
I got it, I think.
You do? All right, well, just don't cheat.
Curveball to a right-handed hitter.
Who was catching?
Pratt. Not Pratt. I mean, Coast.
Chris Coast was,
Pratt.
yeah.
Chris Coast was a catcher, yeah.
This is Brian Schneider. He's catching today, and he's giving the Phils a 2-0 lead. Coast, if I recall correctly, and hopefully he's watching, he can correct me, I think he lost the ball.
No.
Yeah, because he was he just threw it up in the air or something like
right?
that. Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Here's Marwin Gonzalez to lead it off. Gonzalez hit his first major league home run in last night's ball game. Unfortunately, he was not able to retrieve the ball for some reason.
Yeah, that is a shame. Normally they just throw it back.
Yeah.
When a visiting player hits a home run, makes it easy. Because, you know, the fans aren't going to know that a visiting player just got his first major league hit or homer. And, you know, the odds are they're not going to know that. Why would they? Or care?
1 ball, 1 strike to count. Waxed that one foul. It's 1-2. The Phillies did do their best to retrieve the ball, but the gentleman who caught it decided he wanted to keep it, which was very odd.
As the kids say nowadays, whatever. That is odd. Maybe he detected greatness in this guy.
Time was called a couple times. Bob Davidson wasn't ready after everybody had settled back in their places. Now we're ready. Here we go. And a base hit to center field. So the second hit of the day for the Astros. Well, the Phillies will go to Chicago for 2, and don't forget they're coming back this weekend to take on the Boston Red Sox for a 3-game series. Friday and Sunday, there are seats still available. Go to Phillies.com right now to get your tickets. Sunday is the W.B. Mason collectible truck, free to all fans 14 and under. Again, Phillies.com is where you want to go, or stop by the ballpark. Jordan Lyles will most likely be up there to sacrifice.
He has 2 lifetime sacrifices.
He takes a strike at the knees. It's 0-1. Three for 27 lifetime as a major league hitter with 10 strikeouts. He bunts at it, foul. 0-2.
We got Brian Schneider on the foot. Dave Clark goes through the signs. He comes way down the line when he gives his signs.
It's almost as if he's got a song in his head when he's doing it.
I don't know. Yeah.
And a called strike 3. Second strikeout for Cliff.
Good job by Cliff. He just kept pumping strikes in there. That was a sweet pitch to bunt. Too late now.
Altuve grounded to Polanco his first time up, so he's 0 for 1. Gonzalez takes his lead off first. Falls into the dirt. Gonzalez went maybe a third of the way and then was frustrated that he didn't go any farther. Over toward the hole, off the glove of Polanco, picked up by Rollins. They got the runner at second. How about that play by Jimmy Rollins to be at the right place at the right time? 5-6-4 on the putout and the fielder's choice. Maybe things are starting to turn a little bit.
Yeah, you have to have a little luck once in a while. Just a deflection right to Jimmy. Look at Good job there, too, by Galvis turning into a first baseman. And all you want to do there is, as a second baseman, he pointed at everybody. Like, good job, all of you. Because Galvis does a nice job on that, too, to just make sure he stretches out there and gets the out.
Now Justin Maxwell will take strike one.
That was a good job by the pitcher, recognizing all the contributions involved.
Maxwell walked his first time up. Lee got ahead of him in the count. Swing and a miss. He just blew one right by him. Runner goes, pitch is whacked toward third, a foul ball. And it remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. Remember during spring training with Justin Maxwell with the Yankees, Joe Girardi was commenting that he didn't want to get rid of him. They had a couple of different extra outfielders that they liked for the skills that they had, which in Maxwell's case was really good defensive skills, great speed. But sometimes you just run out of space, not only on your 25-man roster, but also on your 40-man roster. So that's why he was made available and picked up off waivers by the Astros.
And Ibanez was no given the way he was going during spring training. But he's done a good job for the Yankees.
Swing and a miss on a breaking ball. Third strikeout of the day for Cliff Lee. 1,350 for his career. A little help from his friends. We go to the bottom of the third, and J-Roll will lead it off. Quality Plus Sports Stores and by Thomas Jefferson University Hospital. Call 1-800-JEF now for an appointment. Well, keep your fingers crossed, everyone, because it's turned out to be a pretty good day here in Philadelphia. It rained most of the morning, no batting practice. In fact, there was hitting inside. Each team has their own cages that they can use.
Rain is an understatement this morning. Yeah. It was flat out tropical.
Grass will be looking good all around the Delaware Valley for the next couple of days.
We have the mowers out this weekend.
Jimmy Rollins will lead it off for the Phillies. He doubled to begin the first and was left over at third. And he takes a breaking ball for strike one.
The cart path only around the Delaware Valley today on the golf courses.
And all along the Northeast.
Yeah.
That double for Rollins ended a drought. He was 0 for his last 6. And Chris Johnson, he came awfully close to starting another one. Ball just wasn't hit high enough for him to get any kind of angle. And a receiver he is not. And he just couldn't come up with it.
Hard play. Boy, the Phillies may have had the greatest at that play in Mike Schmidt. He would have caught that. No offense to Chris Johnson, but Mike, was unbelievable how he would catch that ball going down the line like that with his back turned. He would take little stutter steps if he had to just get in the right position. Hardly ever missed one of those.
I think it's tough to judge a ball that's that small with your back to the field and the angle it's coming down at.
There's obstacles coming up at you as you're going down the line a lot of times.
Rollins tried to check. They appeal. No swing, says Jerry Lane. But it's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
But Mike Schmidt, just such a superior athlete. I mean, Schmidt could play anything better than people. No matter what the sport was, he'd just go out there and play, and he was so good at it.
Ping pong?
Oh, he was good at that too. Tennis. He
bowling?
Bowling, great bowler. You should see him play basketball. And golf, you know. Ugh.
Could he beat Sarge in basketball?
I'm not going there because he's listening. But I got to think so. But I'm sure Sarge would say no. But Mike was really good at everything. And made it look easy the way he did in baseball. Good job by Jimmy Waston, making this guy throw a lot of pitches. He's up to 40 already, 39. And you see this at bat that he's having.
Now it's 3-2, so it's a 7-pitch at bat.
Yeah, at least an 8 coming up.
Juan Pierre's on deck. In the air to right center field. That's a towering shot. Going back is Downs, and it's going to die in the alley. And the catch is made on the edge of the warning track for out number 1.
But he had a shot.
That just sounded like it was going to go out of the yard.
Sounded like a home run. It looked like a home run off the bat. Day game here. Everything about it. To ask him what he thought. Yeah, sometimes you just... Well, I guess not.
No, he didn't think so.
He must have got it on the end of the bat a little bit. That's what it was. He knew it.
Here's Juan Pierre. And he takes ball. It's 1-0. Even the initial reaction of Downs, I thought it had a chance to get out of the yard.
It sounded like a home run.
1 ball, no strikes to count to Pierre. And he bunts. Foul. Wasn't a bad idea. I mean, Johnson was up, but not up all the way.
Great idea. 1 out. Get on base. Maybe try and manufacture a run.
On the Toyota Major League scoreboard, they had a very brief rain delay. And after the rain delay, the Padres scored a couple more to lead the Nationals 3-0. The game's in the second.
There's Steven Strasburg pitching that game for the Nats today. Let me ask Sarge when he comes in here who would have won that. Who was a better basketball player, he or Mike Schmidt? It'd be interesting to hear what Sarge says.
What do you think he's going to say?
Me.
Yeah.
You kidding?
And a called strike 3. Pierre takes what looked like a 2-seamer for a strike. 3rd strikeout for Lyles. The Junior Phillies Club is for Philly fans 14 and under. The price is $13. Members receive 2012 Junior Phillies duffel bag, a Hunter Pence poster, and collectible magnets, a membership card, discounts, and membership benefits. You can register that little guy right there at Phillies.com/Junior Phillies Club. It's presented by Powerade. That young guy was here last night for the Liberty Bell cap. Victorino takes strike 1. It's 0-1.
Nasty night last night. Fans were great the way they sat through that. A lot of fans were still here at the end of the game.
Now, according to those financial commercials, that youngster right there could sign up for the Phillies Junior Club. She signed up and got Sarge's hat.
For Bear Bryant's. Looks like that old hat that the Bear used to wear.
Sarge is wearing a similar hat to that today.
Yes, he was.
Victorino struck out looking his first time up.
Yeah, they did not get that run in the first inning.
Very intent. Off the end of the bat, shallow right center field. Downs is signaling that he has it. The Phillies go down in order. So we're through our first 3 innings here at Citizens Bank Park. The Phils on a 2-run home run by Brian Schneider are on top 2-0. Cliff Lee goes back to work. They deliver to most areas. Just call by 11:30 and they deliver by 5. Who but WB Mason. On to the 4th inning. The Phillies up 2-0. It'll be Matt Downs, Carlos Lee, and Chris Johnson against Cliff Lee. Cliff at his last outing went 6 innings, allowed 2 runs on 5 hits, struck out 6, received a no decision. We mentioned his pitch count often in that ball game. Well, right now with 1 strike here in the 4th, he's at 41. It's in good shape. And they said anywhere between 85 and 100, but a lot of Lee's day would be dependent on the struggles that he'd have to work in and out of, or work out of, I should say. And so far, so good.
Yeah, he does. He looks good round the plate.
He got Downs to fly out to right to put the second out on the board in the first inning. Swing and a miss and a breaking ball. Back-to-back strikeouts for Lee. 1 to end the 3rd, 1 to begin the 4th. And that's 4 Ks.
Well, he's one of those guys that has fun every time he comes and goes out there to participate there. Breaking ball, as you see, it falls out of the zone.
Carlos Lee takes inside. It's 1-0. How about this stat on Lee, Sarge? He has a 1.68 earned run average since June 1st of last year. That's coming into today's ballgame. It's down a little bit more after today's first 3 innings. It's the lowest among major league starters during that span.
This guy just, I mean, a number 1. We know that. Oh, boy.
That line drive, I think, got somebody in the Astros dugout.
Oh, I hope it was him getting out of the way, because that was simply a rocket hit into the dugout. You know, with that railing, what you want to do is just duck as soon as you hear sound.
Over to third, to his left, Polanco, diving play. Gets to his feet. Throw is in time across the diamond for the second out.
Boy, real good play by Mayberry Jr. along with Polanco after he goes down. Once he catches it, he knows who's running. He knows he has plenty of time Take a look at it as he'll gather himself there. That ball hit pretty good, top spin. See how he just takes his time, and good stretch there by Mayberry.
That's a really good stretch, sorry. That's a good point, because there's some first baseman that wouldn't be able to make that play.
Well, that's good athleticism, and not only that, that big body to stretch across there.
Chris Johnson takes low and in. Johnson reached on a fielder's choice his first time up. The last 8 runs for the or 8 games for the Astros, 2 of which went 12 innings. They've scored a combined 13 runs. The stretch of 8 straight with 3 runs or less, which is what they're in. It's their longest stretch since the 1991 season.
Hard to be consistent. It's a big ball game to win before going on the road. To start to really not only win series, but get that confidence that you can win.
Swing and a miss. He got him. 5 strikeouts for Lee through the first 4 innings. A 1-2-3 inning, his first one of the day. He's on cruise control right now as the Phils, with a 2-0 lead, take the .com to learn more. Buy AT&T. Rethink possible. And buy Chevrolet. See your local Chevy dealer. Visit ChevyDealer.com. Bottom of the 4th inning. Cliff Lee, like any other day, just soaking it in. So far, so good for Cliff. Through 4. His pitch count is in a good spot. He's allowed 2 hits. He's up 2-0. Now Hunter Pence, Placido Polanco, and John Mayberry for the Phillies against Jordan Lyles.
This guy's going to be okay. He's got a lot of movement on his pitches, but I've said it before. A lot of these kids, they bring them up way too quick.
Into foul territory, and that's out of play. So no, 1 ball and 1 strike. All right, but when you say that, Sarge, how do you know? I mean, I guess some guys are glaring. Like Steven Strasburg, you know he's ready. Cole Hamels, you knew when he was ready. But, I mean, if you're the Astros, how do you know if he's ready?
It's simple, because they drafted this kid #1, so they want him to be ready. He was pitcher of the year last year, 7-12 record. You wouldn't think that would get you pitcher of the year, but in that organization, he might be better than the rest. So, consequently, they're going to want to bring him up just to make sure not only that he can help out, but they're right in their #1 pick.
Yeah, and I guess it's not, I mean, this is pretty simplistic, but I guess it's not just one pitch that can get guys out, but you need a handful of pitches to get guys out.
Yeah, and they're also in a rebuilding kind of situation, so the experience that he can get is just vital in order for him to be able to pitch better later on. You need that kind of experience.
It's 3-1 to count to Hunter Pence. And Pence pulls it to third. Johnson waits on it. Throws low to first, but it's dug out by Lee. So 1 out for Placido Blanco. I guess there's always that thought that you may bring a guy up too soon. He gets rocked, and he never regains the confidence that you need him to have to pitch in the big leagues.
Well, and players too, and you're right about that. I think guys, though, pitchers that get hit a lot of times, depending on the makeup of the guy, you're going to go and want to do a lot better. I mean, Galvis, when you look at him and the way that he was starting off, you can tell by the way the kid is hitting and his approach that he has some pride about himself. You know, coming from Venezuela, I think for me, I mean, more difficult to wear that number 13 than it would to be able to play here in the major leagues. I mean, you got some superstar guys that have wore that number.
Over toward the hole, cut off by Johnson. And there are 2 outs here in the 4th. I think back to guys who have pitched here, you know, whether it be Gavin Floyd. Remember Gavin Floyd who pitches for the Red Sox,
for
White Sox now?
Yeah.
You know, he looked like he had all the talent in the world, but he just couldn't get it to click here. So when he was traded away, I think a lot of folks thought, all right, fresh start.
Yep. Always helps. Fresh start always helps. But again, there's some guys that are great AA players, great AAA players, for whatever reason, can't play in the major leagues. Bobby Taylor, a 340 hitter in AAA with the Giants, only got a cup of coffee for whatever reason, couldn't hit in the major leagues.
Mayberry reached on an error by Altuve his first time up, and that was a big one because 2 batters later, Brian Schneider hit a 2-run home run. That's the difference so far today. It's 2-0 Phillies here in the bottom of the 4th.
Much better swing on that particular swing, even though just fouled the ball back. Appeared that he had to mind where he's trying to go more so to right center. That's how you can tell that Mayberry would be locked in. It's a given when he's pulling the ball, and good, he's doing well right now.
.60 pitches so far for Lyles. Oh, 2 the count. On the hands, over toward the Phillies dugout, and out of play.
Pretty good pitch, little 2-seamer. They'll come in, up and in like that with Mayberry, and then usually try and go away.
That gentleman right there to the right, not the one in the red tie, the one in the blue and white striped tie, just grabbed that ball out of the air on the Citizens Bank Business Person Special. Half a day at work, half a day at the ballpark. Pretty good office if you're going to use it.
Yep. Keeping in touch.
Again, the third. That's a fair ball. Johnson makes a heck of a play to get to it, but he can't get anything on the throw or enough perfection on the throw to throw out Mayberry. So that'll be a base hit.
Well, Maury plays there. That was a breaking ball, kind of hung inside. Good play right here. That throw, though, with speed from Mayberry, either a good play or a base hit. See Lee doing a good job keeping that ball in front of him. For you youngsters, that's what you want to do. Come off that bag and keep that ball in front of you. Keep the runner from going to second.
So the inning's alive for Galvis, who fly to left center his first time up. They're playing him that way. What did you think about putting Mayberry in motion here?
Well, I'd like for Mayberry to get a jump from me and try and steal. I think Galvey's still swings through a lot of pitches. Mayberry like to pick out on a breaking ball. He has the speed, get a good jump, and go. You know, and the other thing, too, though, if Galvey's hits a base hit with the speed of Mayberry, you should be able to go first to third. You know, got to make sure that you make it, however. Don't want that third out to be a third.
Outside and low, ball 3.
Kind of pitching to him like he's been hot.
And there's ball 4, so first and second now. With 2 outs, it'll give Schneider a chance. Schneider's last time up, well, Sarge, he did this.
Well, when you're not playing every day, good to contribute. 2-run bomb as he goes down, golfs a line drive right out of the ballpark.
And for that home run, and each one hit by the Phillies players this season, one tree will be planted by the Pennsylvania Horticultural Society as part of Home Runs for Trees, a partnership between the Phillies, PHS, and Aramark. Home Runs for Trees is part of a Plant 1 Million project to restore the region's tree coverage. Go to Phillies.com/red goes green for more information. Schneider takes a hook outside. Oh, all of a sudden, Lyles is having trouble with the strike zone.
You start to get men on base. Usually pitchers pitch a little bit differently, not being as aggressive. Snyder can sit on whatever he wants right now, preferably getting a pitch that he'll turn on. And Lyles is going to try and make him hit his pitch.
Good pitch.
Filthy.
Change up. He was way out in front. He hasn't thrown many change ups today. It's 2 balls and 1 strike to Schneider.
That's one of the main difference between minor league pitchers and major leagues. The minor leagues are usually come at you with the fastball. Major leagues will mix it up. Not a good time to be able to go, even though it's 3-1. Might as well wait until 3-2.
Line drive, base hit it to right field. Mayberry's being waved home. Downs got to it quickly. The throw up the third base line a little bit, but it's right on target to get Mayberry try to score. 9-2 on the putout, and the inning is over. Second hit of the day for Brian Schneider, but Matt Downs got to that ball very quickly. And although his throw was up the line a step or 2, Castro went after it in good position, made the tag, and the side is retired. Phillies looked like they were going to score another one to finish up the fourth. But John Mayberry thrown out by right fielder Matt Downs made a heck of a throw. So now it's J.D. Martinez, Jason Castro, and Marwin Gonzalez. At least first pitch of the fifth is in there for a strike. J.D. Martinez is 1 for his last 36. They've tried everything. He sat for 5 of the last 6 days. He was their number 3 hitter, and he gets a base hit to start the fifth. So that'll bring Jason Castro to the plate. Let's check in with Greg Murphy. Murph?
All right, Tom. Well, around Major League Baseball, history being made last night. The Washington Nationals 19-year-old Bryce Harper, his first Major League home run, and it was a deep one to straightaway center field. He's the youngest guy to do it since Adrian Beltre back in 1998 did it as a 19-year-old. Elsewhere, some injury news for some contenders. Matt Kemp, after 399 consecutive games, finds himself on the disabled list with a left hamstring. And Jeff Neiman, the right-hander for the Tampa Bay Rays, out 6 to 8 weeks with a small fracture of the right leg. So not just in Philadelphia, contenders are dealing with some injuries right now to some big names, Tom.
Yeah, Matt Kemp, the fact that he's out, that means that Prince Fielder now has the longest active streak of consecutive games. And Murph, you and I are watching the highlights of that Tampa Bay game. Neiman didn't want to come out of the ball game.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. He has a fractured bone right above his right ankle, but he said, no, I can keep on going. I'll stay in this game. It happened in the first inning, but they thought better of it. They pulled it out. They checked it out, and it is a fracture, so he'll be out 6 to 8 weeks. That's a big loss for Tampa.
You know, it is a big loss to the stability of the Tampa Bay Rays, who right now find themselves in a dead heat with the Baltimore Orioles in the American League East. So I'm sure there's more news to come as the day moves on. We are just getting started from Major League Baseball on this Tuesday. 2-1 the count to Jason Castro. How about that, Sarge? The guy wanted to keep on pitching.
Well, you know who did that? Roberto Clemente ended up hitting a line drive off of the kneecap of Bob Gibson. He kept pitching. Actually stayed in there. I don't know how they endured that kind of pain.
2-2 to Castro.
Obviously not cracked to the point where you can't walk, but you get line drives off the legs that give you a bump. You want to come out of the game.
In fact, it was the umpires that said, you know, there's something wrong with this guy. You might want to take him out of the game. Just missed. 3-2 to Castro. He grounded to second his first time up. Marwin Gonzalez on deck.
See how hitters get a little bit more aggressive there, 3-2, knowing especially guys like Hamels, Lee, Holiday, you know they're going to be around the plate, so kind of takes the guesswork out of it that way.
Over to shortstop. That could be 2. Rollins flips to Galvis for 1. Right on over to first. 6-4-3. Ball was not hit especially hard, but catcher running up the first base line.
Now, those are the kind, though, you practice on that you hit with fungos from the coaches. Little inside-out ball there. J-Rowe with the good throw there. There's a transfer by Galvis. No big deal as he throws that ball and gets it there in plenty of time.
2 away here in the fifth, and Marwin Gonzalez the batter. Good changeup. 0-1 the count to Gonzalez. Lee's fastball today has been around 93 miles an hour. That changeup at 85. That latest fastball at 91.
You know, one of the things, too, I mean, they get it and they throw it. Don't shake off the catcher very often. Good pitch. Throwing strikes, quality strikes on the corners, keeping the ball out of the heart of the plate. Good old-fashioned curveball. Sorry, Tom.
Oh, there you go.
From that right side, I mean, when you're hitting against the lefty, you got that curveball, and especially the slow one coming right at you.
Or how about the changeup? That was a good pitch. Schneider dug it out of the dirt. Another strikeout for Lee. It's his 6th strikeout of the afternoon. No runs, 1 hit, nobody left. Lee is through 68 pitches under his belt. He's in great shape. So are the Phils. They're up 2-0 as we go to the bottom of the 5th. Bottom of the 5th inning, Phillies up 2-0. Brian Schneider's home run in the 2nd is the difference. Phil's try to get to the 500 mark. They're 2 games under 500 right now. 5.5 games behind the Washington Nationals.
Still a lot of games, but obviously a lot of games left. But the fact is, again, it's not really a lot of games to be able to come back from, especially if you're able to get hot.
Lee swings at the first pitch to begin the 5th. So 1 out. We go back to the top of the order with Jimmy Rollins. Well, speaking of these games within the division, next week the Washington Nationals will be here at the ballpark for the first time. Get a chance to see Bryce Harper and the Nats, who are half a game ahead of the Atlanta Braves as play begins today. Go to Phillies.com and order your tickets there. Tickets available for all 3 of those games. Again, go to Phillies.com. Make your purchase today. Jimmy Rollins is 1 for 2. Did you think Rollins' ball the last time up had a chance?
Well, when he threw the bat down, that's not how you throw it down when it's a home run. That was more in disgust.
Castro makes a good play getting off of the mask and getting back and get that one.
That's what I don't like, those pop-ups like that. Even though he's trying to bunt again, you got to get on top of that. You got to go for the line. I'd rather see him go on and swing away. He's been a player that has swung away his whole career. All of a sudden now to actually just change. I don't know. Now look where this pitch is. And that's his home run pitch. I'm sorry. That ball's coming right kind of back into him. Not even a good angle on that bat, the way that he's holding it to be able to bunt. Well, J-Ro is just more of a slugger for me. I mean, sure, he can lead off, but he's not going to be your typical leadoff hitter if you're going to expect for him to try and walk 100 times. That's just not going to happen.
Well, I think we've said this time and time again. Your typical leadoff hitter is not typical anymore.
Well, I mean, a good point in making sure that he has speed, he has power, can hit a little bit there for average.
But, you know, the Juan Pierres of this world, you know, have been replaced with guys that have some pop and some speed, like Victorino and like Rollins and guys like that. Wouldn't you agree?
I think that some of the clubs are that way, but when you look at that Campana there with the Cubs, he's another guy
Different
that
animal.
is a speedster. You look at Bourne there with Atlanta, kind of like the same way. But your point is when you have a guy like, say, a Derek Jeter, that's not your typical type of leadoff hitter. More power, more gap hitter.
1-2 the count to Pierre. He just served that one out on one hop to shortstop. Lyles is going to have a very easy 5th inning. So he retires the Phils in order here in the bottom of the 5th. We move on to the 6th. Again, the Phils nursing a 2-run lead this afternoon. Milestone. Over the span of 15 seasons, Placido Polanco has been a picture of consistency in the field, snagging 3 Gold Glove awards in 2 different positions. His defense has been second to his dependability at the plate. The above 300 career average hitter has now added a monumental 2,000th hit. And of course, he did it with a little style. This well-deserved curtain call is brought to you by Independence Blue Cross. Now more than ever, we're here for you every step of the way. Well, we go to the top of the 6th inning. Phillies up 2-0. There's Phillies Vice President Dave Buck, who is enjoying his birthday today here at the ballpark. So happy birthday, Bucky. Just happy birthday to Dave today.
Happy birthday, Mr. Buck. Many more. Sure, he'll be celebrating a little later on. Best celebration, however, would be a victory.
He's also had a birthday yesterday. Roy Halladay celebrated his birthday yesterday. Chopper to second base. Freddie Galvis throws out Lyles. 1 gone.
Like that first pitch swinging, putting that ball in play and putting it in play kind of weakly.
Here's Jose Altuve. He's 0 for 2.
Man, that ball's nowhere near getting ready to hit it. It's called a strike, but yet the batter is actually jumping away. I mean, you got to take pitches as if you're going to hit them. You know, you jump out of the way like that and it's a strike. You don't know what the ball has done. One of the reasons Pete Rose would follow that ball all the way back into the glove so that you kind of know and follow it. See exactly where that pitch is. See what kind of movement the ball might have.
Nice catch off a carom by a fan down in the 3rd row. Ball hit just above the suite level here at Citizens Bank Park. It's shot right on down. And a called strike 3. Curveball right on the outside part of the plate. 7 strikeouts for Cliff.
They just set him up so good. Fastball after fastball. Then you get the Uncle Charlie. You can see how far his body was out in front of that. No chance to be able to get it. He's not going to even argue. Bad position, but again, when you're guessing fastball, you get that pitch. That's the way you're going to look.
J.D. Maxwell fouls the first one from Lee off toward the Astros dugout. No balls, 1 strike. Tried that curve again. Why not?
Well, that's one of those pitches again for a hitter. Maxwell not playing every day. You want to stay with some of the hard stuff there. If you want to hit a curveball. I always thought it was easier to hit that pitch that was straighter as opposed to off speed or breaking down.
Checked his swing. Nope, says Bob Davidson. He went around. 8 strikeouts for Lee. 1, 2, 3 go the Astros. Here in the 6th inning, Cliff Lee is retired. 5 consecutive hitters. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning, and Shane Victorino will start it off. Play provider of the Phillies. By Citizens Bank, we're for homes. Talk to us today about how we can help guide you to the loan that's right for you. And by Nissan. Get to a Nissan dealer for great deals on innovation you can count on. Innovation for all. We're on to the bottom of the 6th inning. Still some blue skies up above. Phillies wrapping up this homestand. Victorino, Pence, and Polanco. First pitch over for a strike to Shane, who's 0 for 2. Sarge, I didn't ask you before. Wheels was talking about Schmitty making the plays on the pop-ups that Chris Johnson couldn't track down. What a great athlete he was. As Victorino hits it hard toward Altuve, and he throws him out. And he said that Schmitty could do anything. We mentioned, could he beat you in basketball? Could he beat you in basketball?
Why do you want to put me on the spot there with a good friend of mine?
Just wanted to finish off our investigative reporting.
You're right. Mike could make that play as good as anyone. Mike, because he was around the bowling alley, could bowl better than all of us. But that basketball, he's going to have to take maybe a second seat in that, even though he's a Hall of Famer. And I'm sure he's listening as well. But it's not going to happen.
Could it beat you?
It's not going to happen. You got to realize, too, he had bad knees when he was in or coming out of high school. So we would take advantage of anybody that had bad knees.
All right, who's we? Is that you and your posse? Who is we?
We and whoever was on my team playing against Mike. That's who we
oh,
are.
would it be one-on-one?
Well, if it's one-on-one, that'd be automatic. I'm really serious about that. And I'm really considering even challenging you, even at right now, okay? Now, what did Will say?
Will said that he thought Schmitty would be able to beat you.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Well, Marple Newtown, what do you expect from there? I mean, come on. I'm going to take that, too, as a compliment. But, you know, he doesn't want to get in trouble with Mike, and I can certainly understand it. But I don't know. It would be a good match, I would think.
1-2 the count to Hunter Pence, who's grounded out twice. What would be your patented move? Would it be the fadeaway jumper? Would it be the finger roll?
I like that little jump shot, you know, back in the day
little
there.
Teardrop?
No, not so much the teardrop. I like that little jump shot Jerry West used to do back in the day.
Pence sends it in the air to deep right field. Going back is Downs toward the track. That one is gone. Solo home run the opposite way. Number 8 for Hunter Pence. It's his second one on this homestand. And the Phillies now lead it 3-0.
Well, that's exactly what he wants to do. Hit more balls to right field, and that's going to make him even better on being able to pull different balls there. Just got to be able to do it. Take a look at it as he drives this ball there. Now, that's a breaking ball. He stayed on it. Not a hanger. Ball out over the plate. He goes out to hit it. That's what you call hitting right there.
How about that sign behind the Phillies dugout? That youngster held up a sign saying it was his birthday and all he wanted was a home run by Hunter Pence. Well, happy birthday, young man.
Oh, boy, right on cue.
So 3-0 Phillies. They've had 2 home runs today. Polanco's 0 for 2. And he hits one back through the middle. On his way to another 2,000.
Boy, I tell you, you do. You remember your 2,000 hit like it was yesterday, realizing not a lot of guys that have done that. And yeah, I do, Tom. Remember my 2,000 hit right in Oakland, single to right field in the top of the 4th inning.
Wearing one of those Mariner uniforms?
Yeah, I was. And that's the other thing, though. And I wanted to say that you really would rather do that in a circumstance that you've been with a team for so long. I think it would mean better. But 2,000 is 2,000. Really, congratulations in the way that Polanco hitting it out. Doesn't get any better than that.
And in all seriousness, you know, you're one of, and so is he, one of 268 players in history, Major League Baseball history.
Yeah, well, very proud of that. I just think it would mean more if you were with a team that, you know, you were with for a longer period of time.
John Mayberry takes a strike. You mean the Mariners haven't really acknowledged it over the years?
Don't be funny. And, of course, my last hit, as you know, off of Mitch Williams. I've told you that before.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Breaking ball. You want to stay in there. Get off your heels. Now you can tell, still not really comfortable with balls that are on the inside. That curveball comes, and you see hitters rock back on their heels a little bit. They're not feeling comfortable.
Fastball up high, and it's cut out and missed for the second out. 4th strikeout for Lyles. And that'll bring Freddie Galvis to the plate. The 2012 Phillies yearbook is now available, back for its 64th consecutive season. The yearbook features full-page player photos, statistics, and the always popular player family photos. Order today by calling 877-GO-PHILS or visit the Phillies newsstands here at Citizens Bank Park. Pierre with one off the end of the bat, but Maxwell was playing him that way. He makes the catch. The side is retired. The Phillies add one on an opposite field home run by Hunter Pence. All he wants for his birthday is a Hunter Pence home run. Well, young man, he delivered this afternoon. He went the opposite way for his 8th of the year. Phillies lead at 3-0 as we go to the 7th.
Today, great job by Cliff Lee and the Phillies, who hadn't gotten many runs. Well, they have 3 on the board today, all on homers. 2-run home run by Brian Schneider, home run by Hunter Pence, and see what Cliff has done so far. Working fast, a walk, 8 strikeouts, 70-some pitches, around 80 pitches right now.
78.
78, and the Astros offense just 1 run in 15 innings in this series, and they'd like to get through 3 more innings here with the Phillies.
Matt Downs shows bunt and takes a ball inside. It's 1-0.
Talking to Charlie before the game, he said, well, 85, 100 maybe. He said it depends if he gets in a lot of jams and has to work real hard. Well, he hasn't had to work real hard. He also said before the game he wasn't sure if Papelbon was available today. That was one of those ones, where he had to talk to Rich Doobie about it, and we did the show kind of early, so we'll see how this game progresses.
He did also say today that he's excited to get Jake Diekman into a ball game at some point.
Yeah, just he doesn't want to bring him into a pressure situation if he can avoid it.
Bring him in.
Yeah.
Here's the 2-1 pitch to Downs. That's low, 3-1.
Really like to bring a guy in the first game when he's in the big leagues where he can coast a little bit.
In the air to left field. That one's not coming back. That's going to be a long one for Matt Downs. So it's now a 3-1 ball game. 3rd home run of the year for Downs.
3rd home run given up by Cliff Lee, all of the right-handed hitters. That run Hunter Pence threw up there looks pretty nice right now.
Juan Pierre was waiting for the ball to come back in from the stands, and it finally came in.
Pitch was right down the middle, and Downs hit it deep. There's no doubt where that was headed.
Carlos Lee has a base hit today. He's 1 for 2. It's only the 2nd run the Astros have scored in the series. Popped him up. Schneider off with his mask. Makes the catch. Well, these lucky fans are today's Citizen 7. They were each receive a prize pack courtesy of Citizens Bank. Citizens Bank with the most 7-day branches in the Philadelphia area. To find a branch near you, visit citizensbank.com. On the Citizens Bank Business Person Special. A little extra gift. Chris Johnson's 0 for 2. Go out in front off the end of the bat, a foul ball. Phillies are off to Chicago after this game. The Cubs are tied at 3 down in St. Louis. That game's in the 4th. I say that as if we're already in Chicago, and I say down in St. Louis.
Yeah. Well, it is from Philadelphia. It's southwest.
There's the 0-2 pitch. Another foul ball. Lee is scheduled to bat second for the Phillies in the bottom of the 7th inning. The curveball's been pretty good today with 2 strikes. That one he tried to get by Johnson. He just got a piece of it.
Yeah, he uses that as a strikeout pitch a lot of times. He won't even throw it till later in the game. Today he broke it out a little bit early.
Little floater to right field. Hunter Pence is there. And there are 2 outs here in the 7th inning. Our Kia minor league report, the players of the week. Cody Ash of Clearwater, what a week he had in 6 ball games. Cody, who's from the University of Nebraska, hit .440 for the Threshers. A home run and 5 runs batted in. 4th round selection in last year's draft. Meanwhile, left-handed pitcher Lino Martinez in 1 game for the Blue Claws went 7 innings, struck out 5, walked 3, and he allowed 3 hits. So congratulations to those guys. In fact, Jeff Brown, the Lakewood Blue Claws general manager, is here in the ballpark today. Taking in the game with his dad, who's celebrating his 70th birthday today.
Nice way to spend your dad's birthday.
0-2 the count to Martinez.
Watch Cliff Lee pitch. That's always fun. He is methodical, surgical, whatever you want to say about it. He can carve him up.
And a call, strike 3. Just a fastball right at the belt. Strikeout number 9. He gets Martinez looking. A run on a home run. That's it. Time to stretch here at Citizens Bank Park. The Phillies leading it 3-1. Here you go. 2007 Phils closer Brett Myers struck out what Nationals player to clinch the NL East title for the Phils that year?
Willie Mo Pena.
Willie Mo Pena. That's it. Boy, did you go back and look at some of the pictures in the hallway?
Oh, well, yeah. Well, but Brett's jumping into the crowd and everything back there.
Log back on to Phillies.com to find out if you're the winner of a Phillies prize pack. Thanks for playing Dodge Stuff the Fans. If you don't remember, well, here you go, everybody.
From Chris Coast. Curveball struck him out. The Phillies are National League East champions. Look at the scene on the field. Look at the scene on the stands. This is incredible. The Phillies are National League East champions and will go to a postseason for the first time since 1993.
That's a great call. It was a great sight. There's Brett in an Astros jacket. He's the closer for the Astros right now. That was a great sight.
Well, you think of what they went through that year to win that thing. You know, it took the Mets. You know, Mets had a tough time at the end of the season, no doubt about it. But the Phillies kept winning, putting all that pressure on them, and finally got them on the last day.
Well, here's Fernando Abad, who takes over in the 7th for Lyles, 10th ball game.
That was about as exciting a clinching as they've had. That was really exciting that day.
Well, that whole week, the rally towels were whipping around. It was the first time, wasn't the first time that we saw the rally towels really at that point in the season.
Yeah.
And the site itself, it looked like a playoff game the whole week.
Oh, it was unbelievable that day. Mets had gotten way behind Marlins early.
Brian Schneider shoots one the opposite way. That is a foul ball.
You know, before the game even began, the Phillies had like a 4 or 5 run lead in that, and the place was just electric before the first pitch was even thrown, because they knew if the Mets lost and they won that day, they were going to win the Eastern Division.
Tom Glavine got roughed up in the first couple of innings up in New York.
The energy in the ballpark that day was just, well, it was the start of what we've been lucky enough to go through all these years since.
2 balls, 2 strikes, the count to Schneider. And that's a foul ball, so it remains 2-2.
Good job Brian Schneider's done his last 2 starts.
Yeah, he has certainly contributed offensively. His average up to 323. Plus, he's not catching the same guy anymore. You know, they're mixing it up to the point where he's caught Cole Hamels, he's catching Cliff Lee, he's caught Joe Blanton. I mean, he's caught, Worley too. But look at his numbers on the homestand, 6 for 9.
Charlie kept saying he's not Worley's catcher.
That one's on the hands. He stayed with it, but still rolled it to Lee. Abad got a little late start, but still plenty of time. So 1 away. From the Phils-Astros series to the Sixers' renewed rivalry with the Celtics in the Eastern Conference semifinals. Michael Barkat and Phillies top sports writers have plenty to talk about. Watch the best talk of Phillies sports on Daily News Live later on at 5, only on Comcast Sportsnet. Got a staring competition going on, Wheels, in the stands. I think the Fanatic sold it to the point where he won.
He deked him.
Kid's wearing an Astros hat. Must be playing for the Astros in whatever little league he's part of.
Cliff Lee's laughing almost at himself right there. He looks over back at Bob Davidson. That's that breaking ball that he'll throw and make people flinch. Well, he just got one.
1 ball, 1 strike, the count to Lee. This is a significant at bat, considering that we're in the bottom of the 7th. He's pretty close to where they'd want him to be pitch count wise, so they're going to let him go out there again and pitch the 8th.
Yeah, even though he gave up the solo home run, he breezed through the next 3 guys. Mick's just hanging around out there, not even worrying about the phone.
Well, Cliff is struck out. He's not happy about that one.
Well, he's got an 0 for today. He don't like that. Probably saying to Juan Samuel, how can you send that guy just because the pitcher's hitting and 2 out? It's me. But he did ground out.
Different approach, though, Wills.
Yeah, that's what he would tell you. I'd have been in my RBI approach.
Rollins takes a curve for a strike. It's 0-1.
Well, he could only go 6 last time, and then the game blew up in the 7th. He's going to pitch into the 8th today.
Rollins rips it through the hole. He waited on that pitch. It was a slider, and he has a second hit of the afternoon. Ty Wiggins is going to pinch hit for Juan Pierre in this spot. So Charlie's thinking about defense, but also thinking about getting a guy that could pop one.
Yeah, just in case they have a right-hander out there in the bullpen getting ready.
Yeah, Rodriguez has been tossing the last couple of innings, but he's up again now for Houston. Looks like they might be stalling a little bit here.
Well, yeah, and even if Wigginton were to get on, have Victorino bat left-handed, you know, he's going to be a right-handed hitter this year.
And here comes Brad Mills. Castro is just about to home plate. And I believe that's going to be it for Abad. So with the right-hander introduced by Charlie Manuel, a right-hander is going to come in for the bullpen for the Astros. There's the call from Brad Mills. Bottom of the 7th inning. 2 outs, a runner at first base for the Phillies. They're up by 2, looking for a little bit more. Fernando Rodriguez is done warming up. This is an AT&T call to the bullpen. We'll be back right after this. On Monday, June 4th, it's Toyota Cliff Lee bobblehead, which is free for all fans. Get your tickets now by going to Phillies.com. That 4-game series wraps up with a Citizens Bank Business Person Special on Thursday the 7th. Again, go to Phillies.com. It's a great giveaway. The Cliff Lee bobblehead, free to all fans. Looks like Cliff is going to stay in this game as he just batted in the bottom of the 7th. The Phillies have a base runner with 2 outs, and a pitching change has been made by the Astros. Fernando Rodriguez will take over for Abad. 15th game. He's 1-4, 4.15 earned run average. And there's a glaring stat that the Astros bullpen has put together the first month and a half of the season. As a bullpen, the opposition has stolen 10 of 11 bases against them. Well, opposition 6 for 6 against this guy.
Right. Look that up between innings just to see if maybe it's a situation where Jimmy Rollins might think about running. And 6 for 6. Takes a sign a little bit side saddle. Well, I guess they're trying to make him pay attention. There's times, well, he throws a curveball too, and one time gets up into 1.5. And that would be the one to run on.
That's a fastball, and then it's outside. It's 1-0.
He has a real high set with his hands.
It fouls it away. 1 ball and 1 strike to count. Tie on the year, a .264 batter. 2 home runs, 10 runs batted in.
Think about throwing a curveball right now to get to 1-1. That's what they try to do when you're a base stealer. Guess a little bit on pitches. You've seen his move a couple times. Looks like he's giving you his best move. You're going to run. This is a heck of a time to go. 1-2 is even better, but 1-1 not bad.
Kind of hops off the back of the mound before he flips over to first.
Well, that's what I mean. You've seen his best move right now, and you have an idea. And wherever Jimmy, he was close that time. Now, wherever Jimmy was, that's the end of the lead.
Collins doesn't go. Curveball up high, 2-1.
So we're thinking that, he might just throw a curveball there because he hasn't shown it yet. And that's the pitch you can really run on and steal on him because it's slow.
Another one. Castro blocks it. It's 3-1. Let's see what Wiggins gets to hit here.
Well, the odds are he's going to get a fastball to hit. 3-1 and another count that's not a bad count to run on because maybe he gaps one you can score.
Rollins goes, and there's ball 4. So first and second with 2 outs. And Victorino will bat left-handed. Actually, the Phillies are trying to win their 3rd consecutive game today. It'll be the first time this season, if they're able to win this afternoon, to win 3 straight. It's the longest stretch without a 3-game winning streak since 1992.
It's hard to believe that they haven't been able to win 3 straight, but fans have been watching it. We've been watching it. It's been a struggle.
Victorino is hitless today in 3 at-bats. Swing and a miss. It's 0-1. Back in 1992, games 37, 38, and 39 is when they won 3 straight for the first time.
And that was not a good team either. Next year, they got pretty good.
Yeah, next year they were fine. Back in 1971, it took 51 games.
That was really not a good team, except when Lefty was out there.
One ball and 1 strike to Victorino.
59 wins the whole year.
That's not a lot of wins.
That was grim.
Except when Lefty pitched. What was the other bright spot? Was there any other bright spot?
No, actually 72 was the year they had the 59 wins.
Yeah,
I'm trying to think how many they won in 71. 1 minute. But Steve Carlton came over in 72. 71, that staff. I'm trying to think who the best pitcher on that staff was in 71. I don't know. Kenny Reynolds had a really tough year. Billy Champion was on that team.
Torino slices it foul. The 71 team went 67 and 95.
Yeah, they won a lot more than that 72 team.
How about Rick Wise?
Oh, yeah, it was Rick, of course. Because Rick Wise was their best pitcher. That was the year he hit 6 home runs, and then they traded him for Steve Carlton, which was a controversial deal, believe it or not. Fans didn't like that deal. Rick was really popular here.
Plus, he was only 25 years old at the time. Torino was tied up. Castro off with the mask has room. And the Phils leave a couple here in the 7th inning. So they threaten with 2 outs but do not score. That means that we will go to the 8th inning. Cliff Lee will go back to work. He has a 2-run lead when we get back. Sweet tea for just $1. Buy Toyota. Every new Toyota purchase comes with Toyota Care. And buy WB Mason. You can't go wrong when you buy right. Now, Center City. Most of the folks down at Center City today, a lot have slipped out of work a little early. See the Phillies and the Astros wrap up this series. John Mayberry goes from first base over to left field. Ty Wigginton, who just pinch hit for Juan Pierre, will play first base. Cliff Lee, well, he's still in the game.
And the bullpen's up as the 8th inning begins.
Yeah, Diekman is up. So is Jose Contreras. Brandon Lyon is up for the Astros. Jason Castro starts it off against Lee, and he begins the at-bat with a strike. Well, there you go, Wheels. We're talking about the runs. He's allowed 1, none, 2, and 1.
They scored a lot for him today. 3.
It's a shame there's no W's yet next to those decisions.
It's unbelievable, isn't it? When you look at those numbers,
even
you haven't won a game
the
there.
4 runs against the Mets, you know, when he left.
It just, you know, you're given, that's bizarre when you look at it. That, you know, the thing we're just kicking around about not having won 3 in a row yet, and they still have 6 outs to go for that.
2.00 earned run average.
And coming up on 100 pitches.
The 1-2. Foul ball.
They have 3 left-handed moves off their bench and a switch hitter too. Another reason why they have the left-hander up.
Diekman is to your left, Contreras, of course, to the right.
I also could indicate that they could be saving, you know, somebody else for the 9th inning.
Qualls or Bastardo.
Right, without Papelbon today, we don't know that he's not available.
Curveball. Did he go? Yes, he did. Schneider was looking for the ball, and Castro's going to wind up being safe.
You think I wanted to block his ass? What the hell did you know now?
Bob Davidson's yelling at the Phillies dugout because I think the bench was telling him he's got to get out of the way. Uh-oh, Charlie. There he goes. Well, talking about bill of the cap to the bill of the cap. Yeah, Charlie is red hot.
That's what they call beaking it. Yeah, when he runs out like that, he is really smoking.
I haven't seen him this in a long time.
Now they got to calm him down.
Wow. I mean, he is nose to nose with Bob Davidson. The reason he's heated is because he felt like Bob Davidson got in Brian Schneider's way.
And then he didn't like Davidson going over there and yelling at the dugout the way that he did.
Well, that's true.
That's what got him going more than anything, I think. He knows Jerry Lane real well. They live near each other.
Second time this year Charlie's been ejected.
Here it is. It's a breaking ball and a good one. The hitter bounces away.
Oh, I see what he's saying. Bob took a step toward.
Yeah.
I don't think he did it intentionally, but he did take a step toward him.
No, there was contact there. I don't know that Brian could have gotten to it and thrown him out either.
Here's Gonzalez, who flares one down the right field line.
That ball went back and hit the brick wall back there, and then it just spun and died too. It's not like it came bouncing back.
So Pete McCannon will get the lineup card.
This game's a long way from over.
Phillies up 3-1 here in the top of the 8th. They need 6 outs to sweep the series, to win 3 in a row for the first time. 0-2 the count. Jed Lowry has come out of the on-deck circle to pitch hit for the Astros. The pitcher's spot is due up next. There's Lowry.
Switch hitter.
Every time the Phillies retire the opposing team, 1, 2, 3, Comcast will make a contribution to Phillies charities. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Xfinity, your home for the most live sports, giving you all your favorite sports all year long. Cliff today has struck out 10 with that last one. And the wild pitch allows the runner to go to first. '19th double-digit strikeout game. His 11th with the Phillies, and most of them have come the last 2 years. Back toward the box. Lee's got it. That could be two. There's one. What a perfect feed. What a perfect feed to Freddie Galvis. It made an easy 1-4-3 double play. I mean, you can't give it to the second baseman any cleaner than that.
No, that was a really good job, as you said. And, you know, the idea, too, he knows who's covering. They talk about it before the pitch is thrown. All right, who's back there? If the ball's hit to me, who am I throwing it to? And Freddie Galvis came in there totally under control, got a great feed up high where he could see it. And the way he gets rid of that pivot, never a doubt. Here's a look. Cliff Lee takes it under control. Look where that throw is. Just right where an infielder wants it, up near the letters, where you catch it and throw in one motion.
Well, instead of Lowry, it's Travis Buck who will pinch hit. So 105 pitches for Lee. He's been very comfortable this afternoon. The first pitch to Buck is a swing and a miss. He blew a 92-mile-an-hour fastball right on by him.
Yeah, you know, he's not going to pitch the ninth inning, so they just want him to get this out here, and that'll be it, and pat him on the back. Good job.
High, and it's 2-1 to Buck. Buck on the year, a .241 hitter. No home runs, 5 runs batted in.
Almost think this is last hitter, huh?
Oof. Altuve's on deck. Ground ball, we'll find out, through the hole on the right side. A 2-out single. I think he's going to let him face Altuve. Yeah. He's got Contreras and Diekman both up in the pen. They're both ready to go.
I was hoping he had another one, but just threw it out there. Just looking at the pitch count. You know, if they were going on that, it would have been.
You know, he hasn't really labored today.
No.
There have been base runners, but.
And that was one of the things Charlie talked about before the game, was they were going to watch to see if he got in jams. And that equates with the pitch count on deciding whether to take him out of the game.
Altuve's 0 for 3. He's grounded out twice. He has struck out, and he hits one in the air to right field. Pence going back at the track, has room, makes the catch. Pitch number 110 lands in the glove of Hunter Pence. 8 innings, 1 run this afternoon for Cliff Lee. He's got a 2-run lead as we go to the bottom of the 8th, and Hunter Pence will lead it off for the Phils when we get back. final against the Celtics. Get all the news Philly fans need to know on Sports Night. That's tonight at 6 and 10, only on Comcast Sportsnet. Phillies up 3-1 as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Hunter Pence provided the spark for the third run. It was an opposite field shot.
Yeah, it looked like he got a breaking ball away. Stayed on that one a lot better than he's been doing it with a lot of other at-bats, and hit it out of the ballpark the other way. Always a good sign if a guy can hit one out the other way.
And a reminder that every home run that Pence hits, whether it's on his birthday or not, and every other Philly, one tree will be planted by the Pennsylvania Horticultural Society as part of Home Runs for Trees, a partnership between the Phillies, PHS, and Aramark. Home Run for Trees is a part of Plant 1 Million, a project to restore the region's tree coverage. It is cool to skip school to see Pence put it over the fence. Hunter Pence with 8 home runs in 36 games now.
Talking about the way it looked like they were setting it up for a different guy to close today. Well, Qualls is up.
Brandon Lyon is in. Ground ball through the hole. Pence has his second hit. Well, that's a good sign.
Remember last year on opening day, the Phillies were trailing in the 9th inning. Brandon Lyon was in the game, and they just singled him to death. They finally wound up winning on Mayberry's hit.
Mayberry is due up after Polanco. See Lyon's numbers. 15th game, he's 0-1 at 2.19 earned run average.
Really like another run right here. Add on a little bit. Get at least a 3-run lead. Keep that tying run away from home plate.
Just bunted at it and missed it. It goes off the glove of Castro, so Pence goes up to second.
He was bunting for a base hit there.
That'll be a pass ball, I would think.
Oh, yeah.
Jay Dunn, the official scorer today, is saying that. Now, Brad Mills is saying that it was a foul ball.
Didn't sound like it. Just sounded
no,
like it hit
sounded
leather.
The glove. I agree. Just said he didn't touch it with the bat.
Brad's office isn't quite as spacious as Charlie's for him to go spend time in. Here it is. He just missed it.
Yeah, and I think he shielded Castro a little bit.
Yeah, he ducked a little. It should be a pass ball, but you can see he was bunting for a base hit because he had the third baseman way back.
Well, and if he bunts here, then he can maybe put Pence over to third with less than 2 outs.
Now his job is to get him over there.
One ball and 1 strike to Polanco.
And on paper, you couldn't have a better guy in the lineup. There's Qualls getting ready for the 9th. Then Placido Polanco to hit a ball the right side and get him over. Now Lee has moved way up at first base. He's an okay throwing first baseman, not real aggressive, but you never know if it's hit hard at him. He would throw to third, take a chance. But he's getting himself in position to do that.
A liner to right field. That's going to drop for a base hit. Downs will make the play on 1 hop. They'll hold Pence this time. Downs threw out Mayberry earlier in the game. 2 for 4 now for Polanco this afternoon. His average keeps on climbing.
And you know, before the game, we were sitting around talking with Charlie about different things. That was one of them right there. Is hitters that give themselves up in the proper way sometimes get more out of it if you play the game the right way, and that's what Polanco just did. He gave himself up, and he wound up getting a base hit out of it.
Now the Astros will play the middle infielders halfway. Lee will hold on Polanco, but he's a step off the bag. Johnson is looking in to see where he's supposed to go. Now he takes a step back. Mayberry trying to give the Phils an extra run or 2. Strike on the inside corner. It's 0-1. What
are they doing with their infield? You would think they wouldn't give up a run with a double. No, they're playing halfway. They're giving themselves a chance to come home. I don't think they want to give up a 3rd run here in the 8th inning on the road. By a 3rd run, I mean, you'd lead by 3.
Dave Clark is letting the infielders know where they're supposed to go. He's telling his shortstop Gonzalez, if you have to go back a little bit, then go to second.
Yeah, get an out.
That ball's hit hard. Johnson has it. They're coming home. They've got Pence caught between third and home. And Johnson chasing Pence down, gets to him.
Well, Pence did the right thing in that. As a base runner on that play, when there's nobody out, you break getting a rundown and keep somebody in scoring position, as opposed to being frozen there and all of a sudden they turn a double play around the horn and you're at third with 2 outs. That's a proper base runner. Unfortunately, it's hit real hard, but you know, once in a while you talk to your base runner before that. Ground ball like that, you're breaking because we don't want a double play. And nothing to do about it. You're out there, but you still have a runner in scoring position with 1 out.
Galvis is 0 for 2. Clark aligning the defense again. They have the outfield really shallow for Freddie. He walked back in the 4th. Wesley Wright is in the bullpen warming for the Astros. He's been really good for them. And Freddie takes low, 1-0.
There's another situation. 2 times a day now they've had a runner at third with less than 2 outs. Didn't get the one in the 1st inning. Still have an opportunity here to score, but not as easy now with a runner at second.
Numbers against the Phillies. Lyon, it's not gone that well for him. He does have 4 saves, but with the earned run average, you kind of forget because the Phillies don't face the Astros that often.
This guy fell on hard times as their closer last year. And of course, Brett Myers is their closer.
Galvis sends it to center field. Maxwell, he was playing very shallow, but makes the catch. So 2 outs. Schneider's due up. Let's see what they decide to do. Doug Brocal, the pitching coach, is talking with Brad Mills. He started out of the dugout. And here he comes. Carlos Ruiz is coming out in the on-deck circle for the Phils.
Right, because he's going to come in the game and catch the 9th inning, even if he doesn't get up.
A reminder this weekend when the Phillies take on the Boston Red Sox, there are some tickets still available for Friday night and for Sunday afternoon. Friday, of course, the 7:05 start. Sunday is a 1:35 first pitch. And WB Mason collectible truck to fans 14 and under. Go to Phillies.com to purchase your tickets for this upcoming series. Then the Nationals are here. There's seats available for that one, too. Schneider takes a hook for a strike. He's 2 for 3 today.
Brian Schneider got a fastball. They wanted that away. It was more down and in. Put the head on it and a line drive home run to give the Phillies a quick 2-0 lead. Unearned runs.
Those were against Jordan Lyles, who went 6 and allowed 6 hits and 3 runs, 1 earned.
You get a pitcher like Cliff Lee out there, you love to give him the lead. Take your chances. And that's what Brian Schneider did, was give him a quick lead. Yes, he said, let's throw him all breaking balls. So far, two hooks.
Very on first. Polanco on second. Another breaking ball rolled to the right side. Lee makes a nice play, flips to Lyon covering. He slides and he gets the bag. Ooh, that was a awkward but fantastic play all the way around. 3-1 on the putout. The Phillies lead 2. Look at this play. Tough hop for Lee. He gets it. And then A bar of soap over to first, and the scoop and the slide by Lyon. Cap of this ball game immediately after it comes to a close. Stay tuned for expert analysis by Ricky Metallico and exclusive player reactions on Phillies postgame live presented by Cure Auto Insurance right here after the game. Cliff Lee went 8 innings today, struck out 10. A 2-run lead as we go to the top of the 9th inning. They'll give the baseball to Chad Qualls, a veteran of 51 career saves. And he'll face pitch hitter Jordan Schaefer. His last save, though, was June 9th, 2010 for the Arizona Diamondbacks. See the numbers for Qualls. Carlos Ruiz into the ball game to catch for the Phillies. Schaefer started last night's ball game, a .244 hitter with 2 home runs. And he takes strike 1. Oh, and 2 the count.
That's why you have these guys around, you know, that are versatile. And when you run in a situation where your closer has to be shut down for at least 1 game like today, that you have a guy with some experience like Qualls to hopefully go out and do the job.
There's Jonathan Papelbon. He's been perfect so far out of the bullpen.
Amazing the way it goes in the season. You can't get the guy in any work for a while, and then all of a sudden they're up. They're in games or else they're up warming up, and that basically will count, you know, as an appearance a lot of times.
With a foul ball, it's 1-2. Well, think about the last 3 outings for the Phillies starting pitcher. Really, the last 4 outings for the Phillies starters. Halladay went 7 against the Padres the other day, allowed 2 runs. Hamels went 7, allowed 1 run against the Padres. Blanton goes 7+ last night in a run. And today, Lee goes 8 innings and allows a run.
Well, ideally, that's what it's supposed to be from their starters.
2-2 the count.
Well, the one thing the Padres or the Astros did well in that play last inning that I didn't mention was they got Pence really quick in that rundown, so you couldn't replace him with second and third. That's the ideal play for your base runner in that situation.
The foul ball down the left field line and out of play.
Stay in the rundown long enough so that you get another guy over to third if you can, and they did a good job in the rundown, got it over with fast.
Castro got rid of it quickly, the catcher.
So you didn't get that extra run you were looking for. leadoff man. And that pitch was really close.
The 3-2 pitch. Another foul ball to the Hall of Fame club, just below it. Rich Doobie, whose staff, his starters, as we've talked about, have done well enough to win more games than they've won. And he's today hoping that Cliff Lee earned that right with 8 innings and 1 run.
He did his job.
Liner to left center field. Victorino on the run. It's over his head. A 1-hop off the wall. He gets to it cleanly, but Schaefer runs well, so he's at second. A stand-up double. And the leadoff batter is aboard for the Astros as Matt Downs will hit. Diekman's going to start throwing. So is Contreras.
Good at bat by Schaefer.
He fouled off a few pitches.
Yeah. They didn't want to walk him. Looked like that pitch before that could have been a strike. No, you just play everybody back right now. All you're trying to do is get outs, guard the line probably.
Downs has a hit today. It was a home run. It's the only run for the Astros. It's that one to the right side. Galvis backs up on it. The runner goes to third, but there's one out.
Well, Phillies very happy with that trade. Because that's not a time as a hitter you're trying to give yourself up to move a runner over when you're down by 2 on the road.
Reminder, the Phillies will head to Chicago after this game. They'll face Matt Garza tomorrow night. Ben Swarley on the hill for the Phillies. Garza 2-1 with a 2.56 earned run average. Worley 1 game over 500, 3.07 ERA. Pitched so well last year against the Cubs. Lee takes low.
Worley pitched a game last year. That day game that he pitched last year was just smoking, and he went like 7-8 innings.
That was the day after Halladay pitched, where he struggled with the heat.
In that series, the heat was so tough.
There's a line drive just past Rollins, a base hit. And a run scores. It's now a 1-run game. Second hit of the day for Lee. I think Jimmy thought he had a chance at that ball.
I think it almost went under his arm. I don't know when he dove for it. Because we were talking about you can take everybody back now in that spot because that run wasn't that important. And Lee will lead for a pinch runner. Here's a look at it. No,
just past him.
Yeah, just past him.
Yep. So Brian Bogusevic will pinch run for Lee. Bogusevic, 4 stolen bases. It's been caught 3 times. And the pitch to Chris Johnson is low. It's 1-0. Runner goes. Pitch is outside. Ruiz throws from his heels. And a stolen base.
He certainly didn't want that to happen. Take the double play away. Freddie Galvis just made a terrific play blocking that ball.
He didn't have any help behind him.
No, that happened really fast.
Swing and miss and a slider. 2-1. Good pitch. JD Martinez on deck for the Astros. 2 balls, 2 strikes, the count to Johnson. Lays off a slider. It's 3-2. Phillies scored 2 runs in the second, added their 3rd in the 6th. The Astros 1 in the 7th against Cliff, and now 1 here in the 9th against Chad Qualls. They have the potential tying run at second, and it's 3-2 to Chris Johnson.
Watch him at second.
Ground ball softly hit to third. Polanco to a knee, keeps the runner back. 2 outs.
Boy, he threw him a 3-2 breaking ball there, and you saw Johnson get out front, roll it over. Good pitch.
And now the only batter left is J.D. Martinez for Qualls to worry about.
They used Bogusevic as a pinch runner, and he got into scoring position as opposed to a pinch hitter.
Yeah, so they have Lowry and Schneider left.
They used Lowry, didn't they?
Well, he was originally up for
Buck.
Buck.
Right. That's right. He never got up.
In the spot where Buck hit.
Yeah. I scratched Lowry when I saw him come out.
Did you do it in pencil?
I got to put him back.
Base hit to right field. Pence getting to it quickly. Bogusevic is being held at third. Pence kicks it. Now Bogusevic's coming home, and the ball game will be tied. It's a 3-3 game. Dave Clark had held the runner at third, and somehow Hunter kicked the ball out of his hand, and it enabled the runner to score the tying run. It'll be a base hit, no RBI, and an E9.
Yeah, he stops him at third right here. Bogusevic coming hard. Dave Clark puts up the stop sign. Pence is on it. What does he do? Goes in the glove. Then when he goes for the transfer, it comes out of his hand. Yeah. And then it hit his knee and bounced away. And they're lucky that Martinez didn't move into scoring position.
Well, they said it rained most of the morning, as everybody knows. The ball may have slipped right out of his hand. He did a good job getting to it.
But now you get back to those 2 guys at third base and less than 2 outs today that didn't score. And those little things have been plaguing them all year.
Castro lines it to right field. Pence going back. It's over his head and it's off the wall. Martinez is being waved around. Now he's being held at third. Galvis's throw cut off. Second and third with 2 outs. Well, Cliff Lee again will not get a decision this afternoon. Here comes Pete Buchanan. He's going to bring in Jake Diekman to make his major league debut. So he just signaled for the left-hander. So Diekman will come in for the first time in his big league career. We'll be back right after this. third with 2 outs. Chad Qualls, who was trying to close it out for Jonathan Papelbon. Well, he allowed 4 hits. There was an error by Hunter Pence that allowed the tying run to score. So Cliff Lee, again, will not get a decision. He pitched wonderful baseball through 8 innings. He struck out 10, allowed a run, and he was in line to pick up the victory. But now it's Jake Diekman, the 25-year-old from Nebraska who's making his major league debut. His numbers this year at Lehigh Valley: in 13 games, 5 saves, just 3 walks. That was one of the issues that they wanted him to continue to work on when he went back down to the minor leagues. His command, and his command was really good for the Iron Pigs. So he's on with 2 on in scoring position. He'll face switch hitter Marwin Gonzalez, who will bat right-handed. Diekman is wearing the number that Ryan Matson first wore when he was a major leaguer, number 63. Diekman was a starting pitcher up until 2009, when he was converted to a relief pitcher. Now, they dropped his arm angle. He's worked hard enough to, get it to a point where he's got great command. And the first pitch of his big league career. It's in there for a strike at 95 miles an hour.
Well, at least he's not in a pressure situation in his first major league appearance. This is not the way they drew it up, but they, go get him. Show him something.
Gonzalez is 1 for 3 today. Hit it to a double play his last time. Swing and a miss and a breaking ball. 0-2.
All right, now he's got such an adrenaline rush out there. This is where he just does not have to throw this guy a strike. He's got a different swing right-handed. Hit his home run left-handed last night. He'll chase.
Well, he's thrown the breaking pitch. He's thrown the fastball. What does he throw? 0-2. Maybe another breaking pitch.
Just don't get a lot of the plate.
The 0-2 pitch. Breaking ball hit foul.
Good pitch, and he was not a strike. It was out of the zone. He chased and just got a piece of it.
So 0-2 the count. Gonzalez was a Rule 5 selection. Last night hit his first major league home run. Just 23 years of age against 25-year-old left-hander Jake Diekman. Again, the 0-2 pitch. A little low, 96 with that. It's 1-2.
Carlos Ruiz hasn't caught him, since spring training. But I didn't catch him that much, and that ball really moved. You could see him. He actually fought it a little bit. 95 down like that. That's heavy.
Got him. Breaking ball, swung on and missed. Ruiz is tossed to first, completes the strikeout, the first one in Jake Diekman's career, and hopefully the first of many. He gets the Phillies out of the jam here at the top of the 9th inning as he leaves a couple after the Astros scored a couple. There it is, folks, in the dirt. Gonzalez was swinging for the time it left Diekman's hand. We go to the bottom of the 9th. Bogusevic stays in the ball game to play right field. Matt Downs moves from right field over to first base to take over for Carlos Lee. Jake Diekman just completed his first outing in the major leagues. Picked up a big strikeout. Trying to keep his arm warm. Jordan Schaefer, by the way, stays in the game to play center field for the Astros. Brandon Lyon is still in the game. He allowed a few base runners in the 8th, but the Phillies didn't score. Here we go. The Phillies trying to win one in their final at bat. They have one win in their final at bat. They have not won a game in walk-off variety this year. It'll be Ruiz to start it off, and then the top of the order. Carlos takes low. It's 1 ball and no strikes. So Carlos's numbers overall: .340 with 6 home runs. His month of May has been outrageous at .385. Takes a curve outside, 2-0. Trying to get aboard.
Yeah, they had a good shot at Lyon last inning, not able to get anything. So all they need is one now.
Jimmy Rollins on deck. Nobody warming in the Astros bullpen. Curveball cued foul, off to the right now to play.
Yeah, like most teams, they do not use their closer in a tie game on the road. And Brett Myers is their closer, so he's not in the game. Lyon is.
Well, he was up earlier. That's when the Astros tied it. Swing and a miss and a breaking ball. So 1 out here in the 9th. And back to the top of the order for Jimmy Rollins. Astros have been involved in a lot of 1-run games this year. They're 6-7 in 1-run ball games. Rollins has 2 hits today. He's 2 for 4. Takes outside. So he's fallen behind the first 2 hitters, 2-0. Little topper back to the mound. Lyon got to it quickly, and there are 2 outs. So 2 gone now in the 9th, and here comes Wigginton. They're trying to get Lyon through this 9th inning because he's due to lead off the top of the 10th. Phillies are hoping that he doesn't get a chance to lead off. Wigginton came on to pinch hit for Pierre in the 7th and walked. Takes outside, 1-0.
I think Brandon Lyon throw everything away from him, and if he beats him, it's got to be the other way.
Two and 1 the count. got one toward the middle of the plate and he fouled it back. It's 2-2.
Yeah, that was a mistake.
Ty
got him.
Ty Wigginton has never hit a walk-off home run.
Good one.
He's a veteran. He's been around for a while.
Reverse black cat.
He's due for some end of the game success. Breaking ball hit in the air to left field. Got it toward the end of the bat. And J.D. Martinez makes the catch. And the Phillies are retired in order. So we're going extra innings here at Citizens Bank Park. Neither one of these teams has won an extra inning ball game yet this year. Someone will before the end of today. Getting ready for the senior stroll of the bases, which will take place after the ball game. But we've got a little free baseball here as we go to the top of the 10th. All even at 3. Jake Diekman's still in there. You see the extra inning records. We mentioned that neither team has won an extra inning game this year. That'll change after the outcome of this one is finalized.
It's the first one the Phillies have played at home, right?
Yeah, I believe this is the first one they played at home. So Diekman, who came on to get the strikeout in the 9th inning of Marwin Gonzalez, will now begin the 10th inning. It is the first one the Phillies have played here at Citizens Bank Park. Pete Buchanan is running the ship. Charlie Manuel was ejected from the ball game back in the 8th inning. Jed Lowry will pinch hit for the Astros here in the 10th.
I thought they used him.
I was surprised they didn't have him pinch run for Carlos Lee. First pitch is a strike, and it's 0-1.
Well, they used Bo Kasevich, who's a pretty good hitter, to run, and he did score the tying run eventually, even though they held him at third.
Outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. You wondered about Diekman's story. I know we've talked about it often because he pitched so much in spring training. But he was a starting pitcher when he first began with the Phillies in their farm system. And his numbers, well, his earned run average as a starter was over 4 and 5 his last couple of years. Early on, he was fine. So they liked his fastball, and they decided to make some adjustments and make him a relief pitcher. And they brought him from over the top pitcher to more of a 3/4 pitcher. I asked Gorman Heimuller about it, the Phillies pitching coordinator, and he said, you know, they all tinkered with it, but it was Diekman who worked hard to make sure that it worked properly. You know, they could suggest anything, but it's up to the player to accept the suggestions.
Yeah, you know, it's made his ball sink.
Here's the 2-2 pitch to right center field, playable for Pence. 1 out. Now Jose Altuve as we head back to the top of the order. Altuve is 0 for 4.
I haven't seen anything from a bunt from him in this series. Polanco's behind the bag guarding the line. So even though he's a little guy, he doesn't seem to bunt. He's tried it once this year.
He's behind 0-2. He just threw him back-to-back breaking pitches.
That's a better breaking ball than he had in spring training. So that just shows you what happened by going down to AAA and working on some things for a while. He didn't have that good a breaking ball.
Give a lot of credit to the Phillies minor league staffs. You know, we talked about Gorman Heimmuller, but also Rod Nichols for what he was able to do to help Diekman along. And even before that, when he was in Reading in 2011, last year, when he pitched in 53 games.
Doesn't have to throw strikes with 2 strikes on guys. He has enough. Well, they try to throw a high fastball there to get Chase upstairs. But he's got Chase stuff with 2 strikes on hitters.
Reading pitching coach last year was Bob Malachy, former big leaguer. 1-2 the count. He got him. Off balance with a breaking ball, 2 outs.
That's what I mean about he just does not have to throw a ball in the zone when he gets 2 strikes because he's got swing and miss stuff. Here it is again. A slider, tries to hold up, can't.
Well, now 2 outs. Jordan Schaefer, who came on as a pinch hitter in the 9th and doubled and scored. Turned out to be a big hit on a number of fronts just because he was the leadoff hitter and was able to put some pressure on the Phils. He shows bunt and takes low. It's 1-0.
Well, it was a 2-run lead at the time, so they weren't in the no doubles, don't hit it over my head defense that they're in right now in a tie game. So the ball he hit to lead off the inning right now is an out.
At the knees with a 94-mile-an-hour fastball. It's 1-1. On the Toyota Major League scoreboard, San Diego has finished off the Nationals 6-1. Will Venable, a great day. Double, a triple, an RBI, 4 hits overall. Schaefer tried to show bunt, takes low and away. Steven Strasburg gave up 4. It's the 2nd time in 25 career starts he's allowed more than 3 earned runs. Only the 2nd time.
Terrible day for him.
Oh well. Up the first base line, and it trickles foul. 2-2.
See, that was a sinker, and you're a thud sound. That's really a good sound for the Phillies. That means you're just hitting on top of the ball.
A reminder that coming up after this game, it's Phillies post-game live. It's presented by Cure Auto Insurance. Again, it's coming up right after the ball game. Recap the Phillies-Astros finale. Expert analysis, exclusive player reactions, and a look ahead to the Cubs series. 2-2 the count. Another awkward swing. And Polanco will pick it up at foul territory.
And the same sound. That means it's sinking and it's heavy when you hear that sound.
Matt Downs on deck. To the count.
The breaking ball.
Got him. Ruiz keeps it around the area, throws down to first to complete the strikeout. Back-to-back Ks for Diekman. 3 overall and an inning and a third. Pretty nice debut for Jake Diekman. Now coming up for the Phils as we go to the bottom of the 10th. Victorino, Hunter Pence, and Placido Polanco. An inning and a third scoreless after the Astros tied it. Now as we go to the bottom of the 10th, Brett Myers is on, the Astros closer. No wins, no losses, a 1.42 earned run average. And he will face Victorino, Hunter Pence, Placido Polanco. Myers 9 saves and 10 opportunities. Obviously this is not a save situation, but Brad Mills decided to bring his closer in a tie game on the road. Shane Victorino is 0 for 4. Each team with 3 runs, each team with 9 hits, each team with an error. And now each team will get an at-bat in the 10th inning. Myers' breaking ball to Victorino is cut out and missed. It's 0-1. 0 for 12 against Myers for his career. Another curve, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Myers came to camp this year as a starting pitcher, but it was at the beginning of camp that the Astros asked him if he would mind closing for them. He always liked being a closer. He certainly has the makeup for it. And he has a couple of pretty good pitches. Depending on where he lands next year, he just may wind up being a closer the rest of his career. Now it's 2-2 to Victorino.
Brett always had a good curveball from the time he came up. He had a lot more fastball than he has now, but he uses that curveball a lot.
It looked like a split almost, but it's 3-2. Pence on deck. Now that was the splitter according to the board.
Yeah, that's a pitch he threw a straight change too. At least he used to, and a split.
Throws another curve, and Victorino fouls it away again.
And a lot of time when you throw that 2-2 off speed pitch, you got yourself into that trap where the 3-2 fastball is coming. He didn't give in with it. He threw curveball.
Goes inside and high with a fastball. Johnson has room, makes the catch. 1 out. So 1 away. Here comes Hunter Pence. Myers back in 2007 when the Phillies won the first of their 5 straight division crowns. Saved 21 games for the Phillies. The next year at 08 when the Phillies went to the World Series and won it, he was 10-13 as a starter. Pitched 1 game in the World Series, wins 7 innings. And he delivers a strike to Pence, and it's 0-1. Buckled his knees on that curve, and it's 1-1.
And Brad Mills usually the closer on the road in a tie game. You don't see it that often. They've decided to do it. They have other options out there, 2 right-handers and a left-hander. But they're going to go with this in this inning. You can hear Myers after pitches with saying certain things out there. You know his voice, and that he is want to say things.
So he's behind 2-1 to Hunter Pence. Pence lines one deep left field, going back on it. Martinez, it is gone! Game-winning home run for Hunter Pence, and the Phillies walk off with a 4-3 victory over the Houston Astros. That young man wanted 1 home run for his birthday, then decided he wanted a second one, and this one was with a huge topping. A game-winning walk-off home run for Hunter Pence, his 2nd homer of the day.
Jake Diekman gets his first major league win. Wow, what a finish. It looked like a slider that was up, and the ball didn't look like it was going to be high enough to clear the flowers out there. And it just did.
3rd career walk-off home run for Hunter Pence. And he absolutely drilled it. It got out of here in a matter of seconds. And guess what our W.B. Mason delivery of the game is?
Yeah, there it is. Hunter Pence with a home run to left and a home run to right. He knows this has got a chance, but it may not be high enough. And he's going to make sure he's at second. And it's a slider. Out over the plate a little bit. Up. Look how hard he's running. And now he knew it was gone, and comes a welcoming committee.
Well, good for Hunter Pence, because the guy works his tail off, and tell you what, comes up with a big home run, and he's downstairs with Greg Murphy. Murph?
All right, thank you very much, T-Mac. Yeah, maybe the biggest hit of the season so far. You guys needed this game, and you come through. Take us through that last at bat. I know I said, do you know what pitch it was? Just you don't know, but you just swung hard, right?
Yeah, I mean, I saw the ball. It felt like a slider or a curveball. I caught it out front, a little off the end, and it barely got out. But ultimately, it was a big win for us. We were playing good ball the last couple of days. Cliff pitched excellent. You feel terrible when you don't make the play in the outfield. So, I'm just grateful the team was able to win today.
There's been adversity so far this year, but this is really the first time that you instantly changed it in a game and get a win. Just how important is it for this clubhouse to win games like this?
First of all, I love the adversity. What we're going through is going to make us a lot better. This team is outstanding. We got a lot of great individuals, leaders. We got a lot of guts. And, this is just going to be a blip in the road, and it's going to teach us a lot. But this was a big win, and we got a little road trip. We got to go take care of business and ultimately keep playing the baseball we are right now.
Is it hard to believe this is the first 3-game win streak of the season for you guys? And, again, things to build on, right?
Yeah, that's a small thing that's in the past. We got to get ready for tomorrow. But, just keep playing good ball. Our pitching, we got those 5 guys. When they're pitching like they are, you got a lot of chances to win.
All right, congratulations. Go celebrate with your teammates.
All right, thank you.
Hunter Pence delivering a game winner, game walk-off win for the first time this season, guys. Back
and
upstairs.
For that little kid, Murph, all he wanted was a Hunter Pence home run, and he got 2 of them, and here's the game winner. It was a slider, and he got just enough height to get it out of the yard for Hunter Pence's 9th home run of the year, and the Phillies win it by a final score of 4-3. Pretty good way to finish off this homestand for the Phils. We'll be back right after this.